All right, I want to cover this just really quickly. The idea of what we're seeing wage-wise, and I want to try and explain this in such a way that you guys can, that everybody can easily understand this. What's happened is something called price association, okay? And marketers use this to get people to associate low price or high price with a particular product or brand or what have you. So let me explain just briefly. I'll give you an example of how this works. Let's say that you're going into Walmart and you're walking down the main aisle of a Walmart, and what happens is that maybe you're not really looking for anything particular, but you're looking maybe for a new microwave oven. And what happens is that you see on an end cap, all the end cap displays, you see a microwave oven, a no-name brand that you've never heard of. You know nothing about it. It has almost no features to it, but it's like $20. And what happens is that you're like, okay, wow, $20, that's pretty cheap. And you look at it and you're like, oh, this is, kind of not a very good unit, but let's see what the story is. And so you walk down the aisle, which is that's what they're after. They want you to walk down that aisle. And as soon as you walk down the aisle, then you see all the name brands and all the ones that you're familiar with. And then you see those and you see the prices, and the prices are probably the same as anywhere else. In fact, you might be able to get it cheaper someplace else. But what happens is that because of something called price association, your mind now associates that you saw a microwave oven for $20, and so you assume that everything else there is lower price, is the cheapest you can find it, right? It's part of the assumption that you make. Okay, and I'm not picking on Walmart. I'm just pointing out, like, this is how this kind of thing works. There's a psychological effect there on you. So then what happens is that, I'll use one more example for the gun guys. You go on GunBroker and you see a gun and some dealer that you've never heard of, who knows where he is, who knows where he got this stuff from, and he's selling this new gun, on GunBroker for $450. You go into a gun store, a local gun store, right? And you see the same exact gun for $5.99 or $6.99. And of course, you saw that same gun for $450. So your mind associates that price now almost automatically. It almost associates. It's instinctive. It's like it's subconscious, and we all fall for this to a certain extent. So in wages, right? I don't make the rules. In wages, what happened is UPS drivers, which I would refer to as colloquially semi-skilled labor. Okay, I'm not picking on UPS drivers. Please don't misunderstand. I'm not picking on anybody. I'm happy for you guys. The rest of the population now associates semi-skilled labor, semi-skilled. Okay, we're not talking about guys driving combination vehicles. All right, we're not talking about CDL holders driving, triples down the road. Okay, we're talking about UPS drivers. That is considered a semi-skilled position, right? Because almost anybody who can drive a box truck, right? Remember, they're not even manual transmissions anymore. They're automatic transmissions. They now associate semi-skilled labor at $175,000 a year. That is now the association. That is now the benchmark. I don't make the rules. This is just now what people are going to do. So people are human beings. What they're going to do now is go, okay, well, hold on. Let's say I'm doing a job that's half as skilled as a UPS driver, okay? But I'm only making like nowhere near that. So by that logic, if it's half as skilled, then you should be able to earn half as much. Well, half of 175 is, like $80,000 or something like that. So if you do a job of like kind, whether it's for Amazon or for FedEx or what have you, and by the way, I'm talking about this from a business owner position. I'm also as a truck driver, right? I did it for many, many years in combination vehicles, heavy haul and step decks, low boys and stuff. I've done all that stuff, and I'm just telling you, that is having a psychological effect on the rest of the industry, and not just the rest of the industry, the trucking industry or the logistics industry, but all industry now. That's having an effect because they're seeing that and they're going, hold on. Remember, their mind is now associating this. Why are they associating this? It's not bad, by the way, just so you know. It's not a bad thing. The reason it's not bad is because it's not your employee's fault, for you business owners out there, like me, right? You think I haven't shut down unprofitable businesses? I absolutely shut them down. If it's not profitable, I'm out. I mean, that fast. And so what happens is that everybody's now associating this, and they're going, hold the phone. If I'm doing half that, I'm not making anywhere near that kind of money. Well, this is not your employee's fault that the Fed and the politicians that you people keep voting for. Sorry, I'm not with you on this one. Before voting for Trump, the 2 times that I voted for the guy, for 2 different reasons, albeit. Before that, the last guy I had voted for to be King Dingaling, a clown world, was Ross Perot. Everybody else, I so didn't give a shit because you couldn't put a cigarette paper between either one of them, any of those candidates. None of them. None of the politicians are going to close the border. Just get that out of your mind. None of them. There is no politician that will do it. They're not going to do it. They can't. They can't. They have to prop the banks up, right? They don't want to have total chaos. I thrive in chaos. Chaos is a ladder, if you want to get technical about it. Not to, but I'm just saying that this is not your employee's fault that they printed the dollar to become the single most worthless currency in the history of all mankind. Even the Romans couldn't pull off a currency as chicken shit as the US dollar. Even they had to go mine, like cheap ore and make little garbage, metal coins. The U.S. can't even afford zinc or nickel anymore because if they went and minted a bunch of nickels, there'd be damn near an arbitrage that would take place because people could just go to the bank and buy, $1 million worth of nickels and then go melt it down for 1.2. So yeah, this is not your employee's fault that happened. Right? This is the fault of Americans that have let it get this bad. And it's the currency is dog shit. It's a bunch of people that want to be middlemen. I've already covered this on many occasions. Nobody wants to actually do any of the actual work. They don't want to wear the orange shirts out in the sun. Nobody wants to do that. They want someone else to do it. This is very common. So I don't know what else to tell any of you out there, but what you're seeing now, you're going to see more and more slowdowns, and you're going to see more and more people that are saying, hey, look, why the hell am I, half killing myself at this job? When, drivers of UPS trucks, again, I'm not picking on UPS drivers. I'm really not, are earning that kind of money, right? Now I say that kind of money only because it's it seems high to all of us because we're used to we're still used to the old economy. The new economy now is fast food workers should be demanding $80,000 a year just to show up. I'm not joking. I'm not stuttering. I'm not making a joke. I'm actually saying that, like, if you look at minimum wage and you take 7% inflation, that's a low number, by the way, from 1971. From 71 forward to now, it's 52 years. If you look at the inflation rate, and you took it and you only calculate 70%, or 7%, excuse me. If you only calculate 7%, you come up with a minimum wage from being $1.60 to about $52 an hour now. That's how bad inflation is. That's how bad it is. It's just that a bunch of people out there, the virtue signaling people out there who don't own businesses. Most of you don't own businesses. You're all just assuming that no, that's too much money and people are greedy and everything. No, dude. The last I checked, people wanting to pay their bills and buy houses and have kids and families, that didn't really fit in. It doesn't seem very rapacious to me. That seems pretty goddamn normal. And if you've got, especially for the guys that are doing all the fucking work, right? This is another problem because you've got a bunch of guys who are doing all the goddamn work that are they're like, hey, I'm out here the one actually doing the work. You guys are the ones that are just, you're middlemen. Those are all the non-essential people, right? As someone who's essential, everybody I knew was essential. Like during that whole COVID thing, The traffic was super light. I could do 100 miles an hour to work. It was awesome. I'd go in there, turn the lock, open my business up, and everything was awesome. And my God, and one of the other things that was really a benefit, actually, that I miss about Convid was that because all the unessential people stayed home, right? If I called up a supplier or if I called up a vendor or something and I needed to talk to somebody about a problem, the owner or somebody high up actually answered the fucking phone. I didn't have to go through 14 fucking layers of bullshit to get somebody's voicemail who's on maternity leave. I like somebody answered the phone and they were able to actually solve the goddamn problems. It was, I mean, my God, it was almost like a 2-week paradise from an essential business position. That was goddamn near a paradise. I'm like, my God, this is like all the shackles are gone. There's no more cops on the road to arrest people for bullshit. There's like holy shit. It was. I miss it, frankly. I really kind of do. From a business standpoint, like a lot, you could call up and get somebody on the phone that spoke English as a primary fucking language. They knew what you were talking about. They didn't have to look up they didn't have to wait for the script to catch up with them. The AI to listen for keywords, and then they read the same answer to you over and over. And it's like, dude, that's not the problem I'm having. You're just reading me the same fucking answer over and over and over. This shit's gonna get old, just so you know. And a lot of people right now, so the people that are the working class. What is the working class? For those of you who don't know what the working class is, those are the people who have to show up and do shit, right? Because they have to be there. They don't get an option to not show up. They don't get to do Zoom meetings, so to speak. Like these are your people that actually are the ones. It's in the name, right? The working class. It's the people doing all the work. And as those people who work at grocery stores and restaurants and so on, they are going to start. They're gonna do what everybody else would do. They're gonna do what anybody would else would do. They're not gonna take it seriously. They're gonna like, well, how do I take this job seriously when I'm not being paid enough money to do really anything? I can't own a house. I can't, I can barely pay my bills. I can do all this other, and like, I see these videos. I have the same internet you have. I got the same fucking Twitter you have. I have this. I mean, like, I can see all the same stuff. I see all these people doing these videos where they're like, oh my God, how is anybody surviving? Yeah, that's gonna come to a head, right? And it's probably, in all probability, it's going to lead to a collapse. And hopefully everybody will put their anger where they'll focus the anger where it actually belongs, which is your bankers and your politicians. Those are the two people. That's it. Those are the two classes that have caused all these problems. They're like everybody else is kind of like an also ran in this. I'm not excusing everybody from all the bullshit that they've created, because there's lots of people there's plenty of guilt to go around for everybody. But if you're looking for the more guilty, well, it's the bankers and politicians that have printed the currency to worthlessness. They've turned the dollar into a chicken shit coin, and that's it. I mean, so I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you that your employee, if you are an employer and you don't think that your employees are thinking about this, you are way checked the fuck out. You are really checked the fuck out if you don't think that they're thinking about this, because I assure you they are. Lots of people are going, hold on, man. I mean, those numbers, they look at it and go, wow, hey, I mean, I can actually afford to buy something. I can afford to actually participate in the economy in any kind of meaningful fashion. And if you ignore that, you ignore it at your own peril. So I would say the benchmark now, I mean, for semi-skilled labor is $175,000 a year with benefits, or inclusive, some combination of $175,000 a year is going to be your new benchmark, because that's what people see. Remember, price association, we talked about that. And for skilled, it's going to be even higher. And for professional, it should even be higher still as a result of that. Like, well, but then that'll make Big Macs like $75. Yeah, who gives a shit? It's print more money. It's worthless chicken shit. It's a shit coin. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, like, stop trying to, all you guys out there with your free market bullshit, listen to me. We don't have a free market. We don't have a free market. Stop trying to apply free market principles that are tried and true, honest to God principles. Stop trying to apply those principles to this market. You're showing up you're showing up to play fucking soccer to a chess match. Dude, it's not even the same type of sport. And that's what happens when you try to apply those kinds of principles. Stop doing it. That's all I got. Now you know.